Okay, our objective is simply graph y equal negative sine x over 2. Notice that when we have a negative angle, all we have to do is take the negative outside. So that's what we are going to do. We have a negative angle right here, so we're going to factor out the negative outside, and we're going to write it down negative sine x over 2 plus 1. And after that, we're going to write the general format of our function, which is y equal a sine bx plus c plus d. Identifying our a, b, c, d. I give you a second to do that. Okay. So our a, you probably realize, is the coefficient of the sine, which is equal to -1. Our b is equal to 1/2. And our c is right here, is missing, which is going to be 0. And what's our d? D is going to be 1. Now, the next thing is to find the amplitude. How are we going to find the amplitude? The amplitude is simply the absolute value of a, which is going to give us a is going to be -1. So we're going to write an absolute value of -1, which is just going to be 1. That's right. How about the period? Period is really 2 pi divided by the absolute value of the b. So in this case, we're going to write 2 pi divided by 1/2, which is really 4 pi. You flip the second fraction. Now, last thing, find the scales. To find the x scales, we need to take the period, which is, period is 4 pi, and we have to divide it by 4, which is going to give us pi. Okay, now, we need to find x scale to label the x-axis, obviously. So find 4 of these guys. So you count like 1 pi, and then just go 2 pi, and then 3 pi, and then 4 pi. Okay, you could label as many as you want, but we only need 4 of them after 0 to label our x-axis and y-axis. Excuse me, just the x-axis. The last thing we want to do is we want to know the general format of how a sine function looks like. So let me just review one more time how a sine looks like. So this is, let's say, our x-axis and y-axis. Just label it up to 4 values, 1, 2, 3, 4. And in general, the sine goes from -1 to +1. And we start at the midpoint, is going up. So that's a sine. And then it's going to go to the midpoint. From the midpoint, you're going to go to max. Then you're going to go to midpoint. And then you're going to go to -1, going back to 0. So that's how it looks like. This is called y equals sine x. But we don't have sine x. We have a negative sine x. So we're gonna get a different color, and we're gonna do the negative. Okay, the red one. Okay. So how negative sine would look like, and this enables you to do the graph without making table or anything. So the -1, instead of going up, it's gonna go down, and then it's gonna go back to the midpoint. And then it's going to go up to the maximum point. And then it's going to rest back to the... So all you have to do is remember this one. Y equal negative sine x. So if you remember the shape right here, you're going to be unstoppable. Now, let me go back. Let me go back and do the graph, okay? So... let's do the graph of the function, okay? And I'm going to give you a second. You see that x-axis are all labeled. So we have the values of pi, 2 pi, 3 pi, 4 pi. Now you want the left side, 0 is always there. And negative pi, -2 pi, -3 pi, -4 pi. Always remember that you label your x and y axis. So this is y-axis pretty simple, and x-axis is period divided by 4. Now once we do this, then we're gonna make sure that we remember our general formula, that what is our function that we're looking for. We're looking for this function y equal negative sine of x divided by 2 plus 1. So remember that because we have a 1 here, we have to go 1 up. So let me get a different color so you can see it. So because we have a 1, we're just going to go from 0, we're going to go 1 unit up. Now look at the absolute value, guys. The absolute value or the coefficient of the sine is 1. So what that means is that you are going to go up, and I'm going to get again different colors so you can see it. You're going to go up 1 from the midpoint. We're going to go 1 up, and then we're going to go 1 down. That's what really amplitude means. Okay, from right here, we just went 1 up, 1 down. Now, once you're done with that, then what you could do is you could just ask yourself what type of function you have. It's a negative 1. So if it's a negative 1, you're going to go, and I would just get a pen right now to graph this. Let me just go here. And what's good color here? Let's pick purple. So it's a sine. It's gonna go down because it's a negative right here. So starting at the origin, we're gonna go down, and then we're gonna go up to the midpoint, gonna go to the max point, and then we are resting at the midpoint. And we're just gonna do that. Go nice. Do not draw a straight line. Now, that's one period that they're asking, but if you want to continue, you could really continue and have fun and just go to the left. The graph is going to go to the max, and it's going to go down to the mid, and then it's going to go to the min, and then it's going to rest right here, and we are in business. Okay, so from here to here is 1 period. And here's 1 period too. So altogether we have 2 periods. And that's about it. I hope you enjoyed it. So please remember that anytime you have a negative angle for sine, you just pull it out. If it's cosine negative, you could just write the cosine of positive angle. Good luck on your next test, and I'll see you in the next presentation.